Welcome back to the Break the Ring podcast. I'm your host, Jonas.
I'm co-host Parker.
Today is barely even a podcast as we got home late last night from TNA Bound for Glory in Lowell, Massachusetts, where we met the greatest wrestling podcasters of all time, Stashco Wrestling, both John and Jimmy, as soon as I walked into the arena. Craziest thing that's ever happened. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But we're going to start off with Crown Jewel results, work our way into TNA Bound for Glory results, stories, all that type of stuff, and end with some Wrestle Dream predictions. And before anybody worries, or if you guys get excited, depending on what you thought of last week's episode, we are not done with in-person. Yesterday was Bound for Glory. Yesterday is the day that we usually would have recorded in person, but schedules all messed up. So we're doing it on Discord again. But Parker, before we go fully into this,
There's a lot of wind outside.
is there anything outside of Crown Jewel, Wrestle Dream, or Bound for Glory that you want to talk about?
Dante Chen won on Evolve last Wednesday.
Did he really?
Yeah. Uh, I don't think so.
All right, let's get into the results from Crown Jewel 2025, Parker. At the end of this, we will be giving the show a rating like ESPN does, just based on what we thought. It's personal opinion. And I'm just gonna, you don't have to do this, but I'm gonna rate these matches out of 5 stars because,
I'll do that too.
yeah. Let's go.
Is there any dumpster fire matches?
I don't think so. I think Crown Jewel is pretty solid. So
I think
mean,
the worst match was Rio.
yeah,
Asuka,
and I just think
it wasn't even bad.
it wasn't even their fault. It was the fact that they came after arguably the best match, which we'll talk about in a little bit. I'm gonna go in match order. We have to open the show. I believe. Don't quote me on this. In the match order, I'm going from memory what I think was match order. So we opened with Bronson Reed versus Roman Reigns in an Australian street fight, which it was Australian. We didn't predict this match because it got announced literally the Monday before, but Bronson Reed picks up the win with help from Braun Breaker. Pretty solid match. Roman looked good in this match. So did Bronson. Bronson hit the tsunami, which is like becoming the most protected finisher besides the Pop Rocks. But I'd give this match a solid 2.753.
2.753.
2.75 or a 3.
Oh, I'll give it like a 3.5, 3.25.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best match on this. Like, it was obviously not the best that they had, because obviously
I don't know where they're going with Jay and Roman and all them.
I'm so done with it. I'm going to be completely honest. The Bloodline storyline has been just kind of down since WrestleMania 40. I mean, the MFTs, which we do have to talk about, showing up on SmackDown with their old like Bullet Club New Japan gimmick with the face paint, Return of Tama Tonga. Yeah. But like, I think the Bloodline storyline is just getting dry. It's been 5 years of just Roman, Usos, and Solo bickering with each other. And Roman tells the Usos he doesn't want to see them till Christmas. So they're not even having Thanksgiving together. They're waiting till Christmas.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I thought it was fine. Parker.
I thought the match was good.
Guess we got Parker's fault too.
Yeah, I thought the match was good. I'm still really confused what they're going with it.
Your
like,
mic sounds really bad with that in front of your face.
I get they're trying to like make it so to like lead up to a heel turn, which is what it's looking like. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know.
I believe next was Tiffany versus Stephanie, the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Good match. See what happens when you give Tiffany an opponent that isn't Nia Jax, I'm
Yeah.
just saying, this match was really good. I liked it. It was, I don't know. I feel like it was good, but I thought it was a little quick. I feel like it ended way faster than it should have. I think they could have had a little bit more time to kind of, I don't know. I mean, I was going to say tell a story, but it's a Crown Jewel Championship. You can't really ask them to tell that much story outside of Seth and Cody, who have a story previous to this.
Yeah.
Stephanie hit the corkscrew splash and picked up the win, becoming the Women's Crown Jewel Champion. I give this match a solid 3.5.
I was gonna say 3.75.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was good. It wasn't a show stealer. It wasn't a show stopper. It hasn't been talked about much after the fact, but I still think it was good.
Yeah.
We then had my favorite match of the week. I'm getting it out of the way now. John Cena versus AJ Styles. From the second they both came out, there was references out of the gate. We had AJ Styles with the old TNA gear, which was so fire. He was wearing the really short shorts, the blue and the white. And then Cena gets a special introduction. And also, we are informed that 2026 is AJ Styles' last year performing in the WWE. Maybe some AEW New Japan just a little bit to close it. I don't really see it, but
I can see AJ being in.
I don't know. I feel, dude, like in recent times, last night we watched the Dudleys retire. In 2 months, literally 2 months from today, John Cena retires.
That's insane.
And then next year, AJ. And after that, I saw people talking about it could be Punk.
Maybe.
And if I don't get to see him in a freaking ring, having a match, I'm going to be mad. Because I've seen the guy deliver promos. I've been on TV while he was doing one. We were talking about that earlier. I had a sign at a Collision and they put it on. I've seen him, at Raw. That was the one that we're both at.
I've seen him once.
But don't get me wrong, I'm still glad I got to see him. The theme song, fire. Which also today I did not watch Raw completely. I watched the main event. So thankfully I watched the main event because I got to see Braun Breaker spear Seth Rollins with no spoilers. That story's moving fast.
Meltzer strikes again with false information. Because he said the War Games teams were going to be Seth, Braun, Bronson, Theory, and Brock versus Punk, Roman, Punk, Roman, Jay.
It was just stupid. It was such random teams.
Punk, Roman, Jay, Jimmy or LA Knight, or who's the other person?
We'll just talk about it next week. It's whatever.
Punk.
But John, let me pull up the tweet because where's all the references?
Oh, Jacob Batu.
Oh, was it? Jeez. I think I bookmarked this tweet that said all the different references AJ made. Because throughout the match, AJ and Cena were doing references. Cena was giving references to his opponents, and AJ Styles to some of the greatest TNA guys. But before we could even get to that, I almost forgot. John Cena gets his special introduction, the Never Seen 17, gracing all of you one final time in Australia. And he passes a note to Alicia Taylor. And for a second, I was like, what? Did he add something to his entrance? No, he made one for AJ Styles. And Alicia reads it off. The definition of total nonstop action which got a good pop. And then this was crazy. The ace and undisputed boss of the Bullet Club, where even AJ was like, whoa, we're talking about the Bullet Club? Because
he said, "Holy shit!" If you read his lips.
the face that runs the place, the phenomenal AJ Styles, which was electric. It was so fire. Let me look. I want to list them off. Let's see. AJ Styles references. Where is it? Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Oh my god, where is it? Dude, please, I just want to find it. I thought I saved it. It's whatever. But throughout the match, AJ Styles was hitting moves from old TNA guys and Cena, old WWE guys. Cena, oh god, I'm not saying I'm in order, but I know Cena hit the STF. He did
RKO.
RKO. He did the vintage. He did
Tombstone.
Yep, he did a tombstone. He did a choke slam.
Choke slam.
He did the Sister Abigail, which was great. The crowd put up all the fireflies.
Skull crushing finale.
Yeah, that was the first one he did. And then AJ did the Coquina clutch for Samoa Joe. Frankie Kazarian's Fade to Black, which was the Deadeye looking Sting's splash and the Scorpion Death Drop. He also did the Sweet Chin Music, which is the dream match that everybody talked about that never got to happen. I saw James Ellsworth was like, "Thanks for honoring me with my no chin music, AJ." And it's so dumb because we all know he was not talking about Ellsworth, but the guy can say whatever he wants, I guess. But man, this match was so good. I know people are like, it was just a finisher fest and nostalgia. I don't care because you know what?
All AEW is. I'm sorry.
God. Here's the thing. I was not around in wrestling when those guys were all fighting in TNA. I was barely watching when Cena had his best run. I was like 5. So nostalgia isn't a thing for me when it comes to those moves. But the thing for me is AJ is the guy who got me back into wrestling in like 2017. Cena, the guy who obviously got thousands of millions of people into wrestling in the first place. So the match was just fantastic. Cena picks up the win, his 100th PLE win in his career, second to The Undertaker at 107. But I'm going to give this match a 4.75.
I was going to say the same thing.
Just a 4.75.
I thought you were going to give it a 5. I thought you were going to give it a 5, so I was going to say 4.75.
Because I think, yes, it was a little spotty with just like a lot of finishers, but it was so good at the same time. Like AJ Styles hitting a 450 at 48 is insane. But yeah, I thought it was a good match.
Yep.
We then had. Oh wait, yeah.
Rhea.
Here's a list: Skull Crushing Finale, Death Drop, and Splash. The Accolade, the Walls of Jericho, Angel's Wings. Styles hit his own AA, and yeah, everything else we mentioned. Kabuki Warriors vs. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Similar to what happened at Bound for Glory, crowd was dead, and so was I after that match. What?
Jimmy just tweeted tomorrow's Stash Club episode may hit 4 hours.
That's
4
old.
hours.
That's like an hour ago.
Yeah, I just saw that, bro.
Yeah, I have notifications on for Jimmy. We'll talk about Jimmy in a little bit. I don't know. I think Kabuki Warriors versus Rio was fine. They pick up the win against the Kabuki Warriors. I think that was the right people to win. I think the match was like a 3.5.
I'll give it a 3.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good.
Yeah, not really much else to say.
In the main events, Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins for the Crown Jewel Championship. At this point, Seth was 0-3 against Cody.
0-3 against Cody.
But then technically also 0-22 with every match that they had. Since
because like
the
tag
return.
matches, because like Cody fought against the Shield and whatnot.
No, that's not what I'm talking about, but it's alright. Since his return, he's fought him 23 times, including house shows.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought you meant his whole career.
No. Nope. Stardust was not being Seth Rollins.
Old Cody could have.
The main event was solid. I don't know. I wasn't moved by it because we saw it a couple times. I think the story was fine. You know, the whole thing about not eating Cody on a pay-per-view since he came back. Cody stealing the spotlight, main eventing Mania for 2 years. And how Seth only helped him because he hates Roman so much. Things like that. I think the match was fine. I think the only thing I don't like is that they are making finishers the opposite of protected. I don't like just not protected at all. Cody hit a super crossroads from the top rope and he kicks out, and I was like, dude, that's way too much. Seth hit a freaking coast to coast headbutt, which was random.
That was CT shades.
Yeah, of that person.
Let's not get into that.
But in the end, Rollins hit the stomp, the super stomp, to pick up the win, which I was honestly glad about because Cody's been getting... I felt like Seth a little bit. Cody's been getting so much the past couple of years. I think it was good for him to finally lose a match for a title.
Yeah.
Besides, obviously, Mania. But that is Crown Jewel. Parker and I had the same predictions, so nothing was going to happen. And then the show that neither of us watched at our houses because we were in person. We went
first non.
He's joking. Parker, please tell him you're joking.
I'm joking, I promise.
This guy. But whatever. TNA Bound for Glory. We were in the building, and so were Stash Club, and I cannot make this up. I swear on everything I love. At the Songas Center, great venue, by the way. That place is really good. Like you can go,
not a bad seat.
You can go get food, and you'll literally still see the match. Like it's so, because it's really nice. It's a hockey arena, I think.
Yeah, hockey. Yeah.
But it was in Lowell, Massachusetts. I literally bought my ticket. I didn't even buy them. My brother bought the tickets yesterday morning at like noon. $50 for their... This is their Mania, right? Because I obviously don't have a lot of TNA knowledge. Parker doesn't either. But it's still sick to go. Yeah, the second I walk in the building, literally, before I even see the ring, I swear, before I see the ring, before I see the setup, the crowd, before I see anything, I see John Moonsault, and I start freaking out. I go, oh my god. I say, Jaden, my brother, look. And he goes, what? I go, John. He turns around, and I'm like, what the... Like, I couldn't believe it. My parents are looking at me like I'm crazy because they don't know who he is, respectfully. And so John's like, what's up, man? What's your name? And I go, I'm Jonas. And he goes, you're Jonas? Like, he knew exactly who I was. That's, like, highlight of my life. I can't even lie. That's literally highlight of my life. Coolest thing that's ever happened. And then he goes, we gotta go see Jimmy. And I was like, dude, Jimmy loves me. Like, I'm so stoked to see the guy. And then I go, oh my god, what am I doing? I gotta call Parker. Because we both said if either of us ran into him, we're calling. Before I even was able to go, Parker was like, I'm planning on trying to see them. And I was like, you're not getting a video. You have to FaceTime me. Like video is not enough this time. And so I call Parker, and he's like, "What?" And I go, "Look," and Parker just goes, and he turns to his uncle, and he said, "What?" He said, "He already sees Stash Club or something like that."
Yeah. And Jonas was like, "What are you doing? Get over here." I was like, "What section are you?" He's like, 103. I sprint.
And
I have to go all the way around.
Yeah,
because you can't
still
go
like peak, like people coming in. People are still rapidly coming up the
This
stairs.
is during Mickey James's Hall of Fame. We missed Mickey James' entire thing.
No disrespect to Mickey James, but.
And then I get there and I see his brother's face, and I see Jonas's, then I see John's, and John looks at me. He's been smiling the whole time.
He's like, "Is that Parker?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's him." And Parker just comes over. He's like, "Dude, what?" And then, craziest 5 minutes of my life, I see John. He knows who I am. We go to see Jimmy. Jimmy's happy to see me. I call Parker. Parker comes over. I see Parker for the first time since last week in person. He's freaking out. Jaden's freaking out. And then Parker's uncle's like, "Oh, nice to meet you, man," because he watches. So shout out Uncle Harry. And then Patty Pitt's like, "Are you Jonas?" Craziest 5 minutes of my life. I can't even lie. So yeah, shout out John Muzo. Shout out Jimmy from the Q. Shout out Uncle Harry. Shout out Parker. Shout out Jaden. Shout out Jimmy. Shout out my mom for driving. And shout out Jaden for buying the tickets. That was dude, it's so crazy to me that the people that sparked this entire thing know who we are now. Like,
believe it.
This is crazy. I told Parker before we even did this is literally, we had three, but basically two own goals. Third one's obvious. First, meet Stash Club. Completed that yesterday. In literally just over a year, we met Stash Club, and Stash Club knows who we are for the most part. Second goal is be invited to a pay-per-view or a premium live event. They got invited to this, and they were invited to WrestleMania 40, I'm pretty sure. Don't fact check me on that. So, that's another goal. And then the most obvious goal is become successful and make some money off of the podcast. And at this point, I don't even care, because we met Stash Club. This is crazy. I've been watching since the beginning, but I'll stop talking and let Parker talk about his experience. Go ahead, Parker.
About the whole Stash Club thing or everything?
Just everything that happened from the moment I called you. Well, so, let's start with your drive there and the things that happened.
Oh, yeah. So,
you're on the highway.
I'm around an hour and a half away. We at this point, we're kind of off the highway. We're in Lowell. There's a little bit of traffic, but we're going down this little ramp that's curving, and all of a sudden, and the car just shuts off. So my uncle turns it back on. He's like, "What the hell? We're in park. It's rolling down the hill. The brakes are screeching on the brake pads." And then he's freaking out. I pull the e-brake, and I'm like, "Chill. Shut it off. Turn it back on." He shuts it off. Turn it back on. We find. And we're going up the parking garage. It stops. We start rolling down. Almost hit a car. I pull the e-brake again. And he's like, "Okay, I don't know why this is happening." And then we get into the parking spot right before we park. It happened again. And we almost hit a car, but we're okay. So he parks and like, "Okay, I'll figure this out while we're in the arena. Let's get there, have fun." And we didn't worry about it during the show.
So then Parker's day turned around.
Yeah, and then we went to the show. And then after, just for
you were there for probably, a good 15, 20 minutes before this all happened? Like, the whole Stash Club thing?
Yeah. Maybe around 30, honestly.
Yeah, you were there for a while before me. Yeah, because you were there before the Hall of Fame even started.
Mm-hmm. But, yeah, but then after the show, my aunt, like, she brought coolant and oil. There was no oil in the car. That's probably why.
Really?
But, yeah.
You want to talk
crazy experience.
Want to talk about who you saw when you were fixing the car?
Oh, after the show, John's parked 4 cars down, and I see him, and I was gonna say like, "Oh, John, you like the show?" or like, "See you Tuesday," but like, I didn't want to bother him because I already
you guys saw him in the bathroom, and It's
Yeah,
just
apparently my uncle was like, "Yeah, John's pissing next to you," and I didn't, but I didn't look because I'm not weird.
yeah.
But
You're
then he
supposed to
told me
just
when he got out of the bathroom,
stare.
John saw him and John said, "Hey, uncle."
But yeah, shout out to Stash Club. Genuinely, the entire inspiration for this even thing happening. Shout out Jimmy. You know what you did. Parker knows what you did. Shout out Jimmy for what you were trying to do. Even though you didn't, even though actually you helped me fully, it was just the fact that I got tickets last minute. So shout out Jimmy, shout out Patty Pitts, who both really wanted to help me with something. I'm not gonna go into detail because I don't want them to just get on blast.
Yeah,
But you guys know what
what's
you
your, what's your,
did.
yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. Before the main show started, on the pre-show, we had the Inspiration versus the Elegance brand, where somebody almost broke their freaking neck.
That was scary.
I think she was supposed to flip out of it for sure, because they went straight back into it. But basically, the Inspirations were going for their finisher. I don't know their finisher, I'm going to be completely honest. It kind of looks like the Magic Killer, the old Good Brothers move. I think that's what it's called. But, basically, they get her into like a powerbomb position, and then they grab her. So the other person grabs her by the neck, and then they do like a flip type thing. And the first time she gets on the shoulders for a powerbomb, and she gets off, but she almost lands on her neck, and it was whoa. But
That
then
was really
they set it
scary.
back up. They hit the finisher, and the Inspiration retain. I do think their contracts are going to get extended, as they were one of the rumored contracts that's running out. That match was fine. I'd give it like a 2.75.
Yeah, 2.5. It was whatever.
Gia Miller versus Tessa Blanchard. No offense to Gia Miller, but Tessa Blanchard's in this match, so I'm not gonna rate it. It was a match.
I'll rate it racist out of 5.
That's a good rating. Poor Gia Miller, but match was fine. There was a bit mess up where Gia kind of missed a crossbody, but like not fully. But Tessa won after smashing like a roll of coins, I think. Was that what it was? I couldn't see.
Bro, hold on. I'm sorry. I just want to. I'll bring this up now. I'm going to the
Oh
Raw
yeah.
November 10th where Cena. My uncle said, "So our Raws in 4 weeks. Brought in his crew can blast through people. Cena can come stop. Maybe bring his friends Joe Hendry, fucking Carmelo Hayes or
There's
something."
no
It's
way.
it's just random.
All right, we are back, and we are gonna talk about Hardcore War, Order 4 versus the System.
Are we
Whoa.
going in order?
Yeah.
Kazarian.
Oh wait, yeah, wait. It's just not on this.
Yeah, so it was Kazarian Macklin. Macklin came out. Also, I'd love to point out they did the national anthem, and they had some Marines. Then the Marines aligned up because Macklin used to be a Marine.
Yeah.
So kind of like a
Steve
some.
Macklin versus Frank Kazarian, who previously beat Steve Macklin for the International Championship, where Steve Macklin won it back. Frank Kazarian did some of his own tributes to AJ Styles with the Pele kick. He also hit the Fallen Angel. But in the end, Steve Macklin still picked up the win and won back his International Championship. It was a good match. I'll give it a solid 3 stars.
3.5.
Okay. Then we go to Gia Miller. Then we go to Hardcore War. Order 4 versus the System. I don't remember the order that they came out. I want to say it was Eddie.
So the next match was
We're just skipping.
Oh, we already went over Tessa
Hardcore
and
War.
Gia. We already went over Tessa and Gia.
So we're just skipping Hardcore War. What are you doing?
So we're just skipping the Casino Gauntlet match.
That was after this.
No, it wasn't.
Well, I don't care. It's like that on here.
You're weird.
Why do you care so much?
Cause in order.
Well, how about you shut up? Just let me do my thing. Hardcore War Order 4 versus the System. It was indeed hardcore. The first two, oh god, it was Eddie Edwards. That's his name, right?
Yep.
And I don't know who
He's
it
from
was.
Boston.
I don't know who the guy is from
Eddie Edwards is
Ali.
from Boston.
I don't remember who the dude from Order 4 was who started it.
It doesn't matter.
But it was the one who got busted open and started pouring blood.
With a cheese grater.
Yeah, that was crazy. There was a cheese grater. There was a kendo stick wrapped in barbed wire. There was tacks. There was chairs. There was dives to the outside. I think the most memorable parts were probably, oh God, what was her name?
Agent Zero slamming.
Kayla something. No. Agent Zero, Spinebuster, choke bomb, something like that. The woman from Ali's team, or from the system, into a pile of tacks. Ali then puts tacks on her stomach, and then she moves while Ali hits the 450 and just goes straight stomach first into the tacks. That was pretty bad. Moose had some chains. He had a spear with the chain, and then some other stuff. Where then it's just to pick up the win. And then we got to talk about the Call Your Shot gauntlet match. Started off with Laying Lee and Mara Sade. We then had Ryan Nemeth, then Nick Nemeth, then
Cedric.
Yeah, Cedric. Then it was like the Rascals, and then it was BDB.
Rascals are like 10.
I don't know. It was a random order. Kazarian got in there. Santino got in there. We had Hometown Man, who made it to like the final like 3.
Rosemary.
Rosemary was in there. Yeah. Matt Cardona, who got a really good pop. But it was a good match. AJ Francis was also funny to see. He turned on Rich Swann, which is pretty funny. But the main thing that we got to talk about here is the finish. Super controversial. I'm not a fan of it.
I don't know. I'm not like against it, but I don't know how to.
Yeah, it doesn't impact me that much. Wait, impact. But I think it was fine. Basically, Kazarian got hit with the Cobra and then went through the middle rope to the outside. But freaking he hid. So basically, Nick Nemeth eliminated everybody. The bell didn't ring. Kazarian ran in, and then it was a double pin because the final two just fight in a one-on-one. Santino then says, "In the first time of the entire Call Your Shot Gauntlet match, we'll have 2 winners." And then they immediately start fighting over it. Which nobody's surprised about them fighting over it. I'd give the match a 3.75.
Yeah, I'd give it a 4 personally.
I think it was good. I think the ending takes it down a little bit, but we'll see something similar to that when we talk about a future match. The TNA Knockouts World Championship match, Indy Hartwell vs. Kalani Jordan. That was a good match. I think it was fine. Kalani picks up the win with the split-legged moonsault. We all knew it had to end like that. Indy looked really good in this match. But in the end, Kalani did pick up the win. And that's when I was just kind of like, I don't know. I think it's time for Mike Santana. If Indy can't bring the title back, I think Santana might. And then we had, oh my God, this match could have been a 4, or this match could have been a 5. We had Javon Evans versus Leon Slater, the youngest dream match. And Parker, we were there, both of us, the first time ever, which happened twice last night, where before the match even starts, they got a standing ovation and a "This is awesome" chant. We were just talking about this. When was that? We were talking about it not so long ago. Oh, I think it was during Cena Styles. You're like, wow, they're already getting an awesome chant and nothing's happened. And we got it. And dude, this match was so good. Javon's pop crazy. Leon's pop crazy. They were freaking flying, Parker. Seeing that in person was crazy. Javon literally gets so much height. You good?
Yeah, I'm looking at a clip. I'm trying to find me in the audience.
Um, there was so many close calls. Leon and Javon taking crazy jumps to the outside. Leon jumping over the freaking ring post. Um, my favorite like out of nowhere pop was probably towards the end. Javon and Leon were gonna do like the respectful trade chops, and Javon tees up and he just hits the cutter out of nowhere. And then he hits the OG cutter, and it was only a 2. I need to watch that match back as soon as possible because that match was so good. Um, but the only reason this match is a 4.75 and not a 5 for me is because the match ends after we get an extended 5 minutes because of a time limit draw. Dark State come out and ruin the match. I saw one of them tweet grown men crying over us. But that match was so good. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, what am I supposed to pick for match of the week? I know I already said Cena Styles, but like Javon versus Leon, and then we had the Dudleys versus Hardys. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
I'd personally still give it to. I'd still give it to Cena AJ.
So you give it to Cena AJ, I'll give it to Leon Javon. There we go. We then had the one final table match where the Hardys took on the Dudleys. Wow, this was insane. I said it to Parker. We weren't even alive, barely an idea when the Hardys and Dudleys first fought, and we watched the Dudley boys retire last night after a great match, to say the least. Straight out the gate, they hit the 3D, and it was just so fire. We work into what's up, and then they get the tables, which if I feel like it, I'll insert a clip. I'll insert some stuff, but I loved it, to be honest. I think it was insane. It was a little short, I will say that, but it's like, come on. They're both so far into their careers, you can't say anything about that, to be honest. Jeff Hardy at 48 years old hits a swanton bomb off a ladder through a table at the entranceway. That, I don't understand it. That man is insane. The Dudleys were so dead by the end of it, and Bubba accepted his fate and let them put him through the table. The bell rings. They get Devon. They get Bubba. They're both like struggling to stand, and they hug. They salute, and then they tell him to come back in the ring, and they take off their boots and give them to the Hardys. Jeez, man. I like, obviously we knew Devon was retiring because he said it multiple times. I didn't know it was going to be both, honestly. But that was crazy to see. Like I said, weren't even an idea when they first had their first match, and we saw the Dudleys retire. That's insane. I give this match a 4 out of 5.
I give a 4.25.
You want to elaborate what you liked about it?
I mean, the ending was, I think I liked it. It reminded me of Ric Flair and Shawn, how he's kind of like,
I love you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I love you type thing. But like,
same thing.
Rick knew his career was over. Bubba knew their career was over.
Yeah.
So like, but I definitely I enjoyed.
It was fun.
I enjoyed the match itself. I enjoyed the crazy moments.
And then we had another highlight in your night for one of them people's entrances. Mike Santana versus Trick Williams, where Mike
he was pretty close to me.
And they almost brawled up to you during the match. They got to the bottom of the stairs. Mike Santana reclaims the TNA title for TNA after the spin the block. Dude, it was so sick seeing his daughter in the ring. He gives her the title. He goes on his knees. He gives her the title. And he's just like sobbing. And then you hear the zipper. Oh my god. And it's Nick Nemeth. He has the trophy.
Can I say the next thing? Can I say
He
the
has
next
the
thing?
trophy, and then
Can I say the next thing?
was
Can I say the next
it the
thing?
blackout and then Kazarian?
No. Can I say it?
What?
Can I say what happens?
Yeah.
It was the blackout.
I just was it the blackout and then
Yeah.
Kazarian? No.
It was the blackout. Then Elijah
Swings the guitar, shatters on the guy's
shatters
head.
it. I have the video. I was recording once in tandem one, and like 2 seconds into the video, you hear the and Nick Nemeth comes out, and right as he points, the lights go out, and I see we're going crazy because we see some guy come from the ramp in all white, and he
All
has a guitar
white.
in his hand, and I said under my breath, "Is that Elias?" And I start screaming, "Is that Elias? It's Elijah!" And then I hear the, and I was jumping, I was screaming, and he hits him over the head with the guitar,
It's
and then
destroyed.
he tips his
Kazarian.
hat, and then Kazarian's in the ring, but he
Yeah.
needs the
He doesn't have the trophy, so he can't use it. Thank God. He kind of, I think he backs down, and then Santana gets to celebrate. That was sick. Uh, for my first TNA show, I think that was fire.
the only thing that sucks about going to
No
like
show Hendry.
the only thing that sucks about going to a show like that is that
So that's an
it's your
hour
first
and a
TNA
half
show and
away.
it's great, but the next ones you're gonna expect it to be crazy, but it's not gonna be as
Yeah, we
exciting.
literally spent 3 hours in a car yesterday. That was kind of funny. But uh, moving on. I think that's all we got to talk about for Bound for
Wrestle
Glory. Great
Yeah.
experience, TNA. If you want to hook us
Thank
up
you,
with some
Stash Club.
tickets, like the Haroons or like Stash Club, that'd be really cool. But shout out Stash Club for doing all that. Shout out Brandon does everything for being in the gauntlet. That was pretty sick.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
but it is inevitable. It is time for the predictions. I don't have my whiteboard and markers down here because upstairs is where we record when Parker
Last
comes
time.
over, and that's where the quizzes are, so I had to put them up there. So I guess we'll just reverse the roles from what we done the quiz. You'll write it down on your board, and then I'll say it out loud, and then you'll flip. Is that good?
Yeah.
Are we counting the tailgate brawl? It's like basically 0 hour.
No, if it's considered 0 hour, then no.
Okay. All right, then we'll start with Jamie Hayter versus Tekla. Okay. Just a one-on-one match.
No stipulation or anything.
Just regular one-on-one. Also,
All right.
I will be going to November 19th, the Dynamite.
Oh, nice. All right. Yeah, I got my prediction.
I think I have a pick. I'm going to go Tekla.
I have Hater.
I think Tekla just because she has the Triangle of Madness. Jamie Hayter, I don't know who she has, to be honest. I mean, maybe, I don't know. We then have, in a trios match, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, and MVP, the Her Syndicate versus the Demand, Ricochet, Bishop Khan, and Toa
It's
Leona.
already happened.
Yeah, I don't know why they're just doing it again. Is this real? Like, did they mess up? 1 second. Let me fact check this.
Is this real? Is this real?
It's like, I think so, but why are they doing it? There's nothing different. It's just basic. It's literally them versus them, no stipulation. Who are the trio? The trio's tag champs are freaking the Ops. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's on the card. It's just it's 3-on-3.
I have my pick.
I'm gonna just go with the Demand, cause like
I have the Hurt Syndicate just because the Demand won last time.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like okay, no, this next match I have no clue. Bro Dito versus the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion Konosuke Takeshita and Okada for the tag team championships. I think I have mine.
Okay.
I'm going with Takeshita and Okada
I have Bro Tito. Oh my god.
because I don't know. We have all different so far. I just feel like I feel like that's like an insane team.
I feel like Kenny might screw him over because they're,
I don't
Andrade
know, because
last-
Kenny might get involved in this next match. The Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Winner gets $500,000.
Like actually 500 grand.
Apparently, it's because they're the broke Bucks. I have my answer.
All right.
I have Jurassic Express.
Yeah. It's
They
awful
literally
handwriting.
They
but-
just formed. They just reformed.
Yeah.
We have Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. 5 for the TNA Championship. TNT. Second time I've done this today.
Do we really have to write it on the board? Because I think we both have the same.
Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, Kyle
okay.
Fletcher.
Chris Statlander versus Tony Storm. We already predicted Chris Stat.
Yep.
Hangman Joe. We already predicted Hangman.
Hangman.
Darby Mox. You have Mox. I have Darby. Or
No,
opposite.
I have Darby.
Opposite,
You
yeah.
have Mox.
So those are the predictions. 18 minute 27. So yeah, that was 45 minutes. Wrestler of the week. We forgot to do it last week because we were in person.
Last week I'll give it to. No, I did it last week.
We did.
I gave it to a girl. I remember.
Oh, you gave it to Stat, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did give it to Stat.
I don't know.
All right. This week, Santana.
Okay, I feel like that's valid. That is it for this episode. Go watch the 2K verse videos. Go watch the quizzes that we did, cause, haha.
When's the other one getting uploaded?
Oh, you're right. I think this week. I think
Because
Wednesday.
you know why? Because you just spoiled who wins.
No, that's just the predictions. That's just the quiz. It's just the quiz
Yeah.
championship. It's just at my house. I have like the predictions championships just over there. I put that there because it's Cena's. So like, you know what I mean?
Whatever. Okay.
All right, we will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Stash Club. Thank you, Patty Pitts. Thank you, Jacob's uncle. Thank you, my mom. Thank you, Jaden. Thank you, God. All right, we will see you in the next one. Bye.